Actually, there's no prescribed process of the referendum. It's just the idea. You must first understand what is the meaning of the referendum. Basically, a referendum is to get everyone's voice heard and participate in the decision making of something of national importance and whatnot. I don't believe we have a process for referendum under the Malaysian constitution per se. I think to do a referendum, actually there's no, unless they are constitution who prescribe for it. I understand, I think the French would have a way to do referendums, and the Americans maybe. What happened is that this jurisdiction have actually prescribed way and format to do referendums, who's supposed to participate and how the decision making and whatnot. What would have actually happen is that there is like, there will be like proposal, prescribed on, and it's like, what is the agenda? So what are the things that we are supposed to vote on, yes or no? So it's a simple yes/no kind of thing. So if you vote for it, then it's a yes. You vote against it, then it's a no. And if you can also play with the answer. There could be an answer whereby there can be multiple choices and whatnot, but it depends on the scope of the referendums you want to conduct. What is it for? And I think the process also determined by the general consensus. You have to understand, because a referendum is supposed to be very inclusive of all kind of view, and they also have to set the term of reference very clearly. Like for example, because when you conduct a referendum, you need to take a decision, you have to act upon it. So the question is that what are the percentage that you required for that referendum to carry, if it's a yes or if it's a no. If you want to know a format of a referendum, it would be like, those direct elections of presidents, where everyone have voted to elect presidents. For example, even the latest in Afghanistan, the presidential election is being challenged because although they're doing on the direct basis, direct voting, everyone have voted to say who's your next president. So the issue, if it's rigged and everything, obviously it can be challenged, right? If you have evidence and whatnot. And also another thing, that's why I said just now, the term of reference of that referendum is very important, because the challenge is always coming in whether it's within the scope or outside the scope. So what it means is, like, for example, if you decide 50% plus one vote is good enough to carry the thing, then that would have to carry. So the question is that what if you have a situation at 50% plus one vote, and there are the number of those small vote as in bigger than that 1%, then the question is that really, is it valid or not? Then you have to examine the small vote and all that thing. So of course it can be challenged, just like any election. I think structurally or constitutionally, Malaysia do not have the system to support of having a referendum. This got to do with the basis of the country or the nations in forming our government and whatnot. We practice constitutional monarch, that's number one. Number two is that our electoral systems and democratic system is the first past the post, which is like the representative system. So it's very much like the Commonwealth, the England systems. So what happened is that in those kind of systems, they actually do not provide a mechanism of referendum, because the representative is the MP and the Parliament is the highest law-making body of the country. So it means that if at all, it's like an indirect referendum inside, because you voted for your MP, your representative, they are supposed to represent your view inside. So in that way, there is no structure to support a referendum in Malaysia. But it doesn't mean it cannot be done. It can be done, obviously, with political will and all these things, if the issue is serious enough. I would suppose it will have to be some jurisdiction that actually currently practice similar electoral system that us. Then we can look at the referendums, because just to let you know, there can be also a referendum that's non-binding, just to find out what's happening. Okay, so they can run a referendum to take a decision on a certain thing, but yet they don't have to oblige or abide by it. A referendum is rather new to Malaysia in all this thing, and it's actually quite costly to run a referendum, no matter how you look at it. If you want to do one with national importance.